Welcome into Start Sit Different Day. I'm not your host, but one guy doesn't like doing introductions. This week 13, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever Thanksgiving football was, whatever the refs are getting paid by the Kansas City Chiefs, oh boy, we have a lot to just break down from yesterday. And I don't know if anybody's in too deep of a hole unless you were playing against a lot of unless somebody had all of the consecutive good players on their team. I don't think there was anybody that really kind of shut you out from Thursday or Friday. Maybe a Brock Bowers might have hurt you a little bit. But we're here to break that down, answer any and all of your start sit questions. Let's get into it. I forgot it's not me. I'm so used to doing that. And you're muted, you dumbass.
I'm hitting my microphone to unmute when it's on the computer. It's a whole fucking thing. Welcome to Saturday after Thanksgiving, everybody.
Okay.
It starts a different day here on Club Fantasy. I am your host, Joshua Hudson. With me, as always, Mr. Joe Zollo. Joe, how was your Thanksgiving, buddy?
I had spaghetti in a quiet house and watched football.
It's about the most depressing thing outside of the football.
No, nothing better. That was awesome. It was great. I think Thanksgiving is an overrated holiday. So,
oh, how dare you! It is hands down the best holiday. What are you
eat food about? You eat food at every holiday.
Yeah.
The whole theme of Thanksgiving is food. I mean, hell, even Easter, you're getting like 25 cents and a fake egg. Like,
yeah, but that Easter ham.
I am thankful for my family and my friends. Be thankful for them 365 days of the fucking year. Like, what are we? It's like Valentine's Day. Why are we making such a big deal at Valentine's Day?
Well, that's a Hallmark holiday. Let's be real.
So stupid.
I do love this comment here because, Joe, I think you can appreciate this as an Italian. Turkey ground beef on spaghetti. Actually pretty good.
Turkey? Really?
Yeah.
Do we hate cows now? Are we Hindu? Are we Indian?
Look,
we don't. No, we destroy cows in America. Cap, we destroy them. No, all my meatballs are made with 85-15 ground beef, baby. All right, let's cut this.
Oh, we're on a roll this morning. I absolutely love it. All right, there's already been
you
4
called
games
me.
played.
I was waiting for the call. I didn't call my family. I was waiting for the call. I'm not gonna lie. I was waiting for the call. It was like, oh, they're all sitting down. I'm just sitting at home.
See, this is why Lou is our favorite Zolo. Right?
Okay, listen.
I want to shaded his son on a live stream.
I want to talk about what happened the last 48 hours. Chicago.
Took them 12 games.
Hold on. I'm just waiting the 32 seconds until we, figure out what we want to do with the play, and so we just sit here in silence for 32 seconds and then scream at our quarterback. Yeah.
Moment of silence for the Chicago Bears.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do as an NFL head coach? Just freeze and do nothing in the last 32 seconds? That's what you're supposed to do, right?
If you want to get paid to sit on your couch for the rest of the season.
Just sit there in silence?
Yeah.
Okay, time's up. New York, they're the Giants, and the Cowboys still suck, but they just played the Giants, so that's fine. And Tua really
actually made that game a lot closer than it really should have been.
Yes. You want to know why? Because it's the Cowboys.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
And Tua and the Dolphins wanted to show everybody that they can play in the snow by throwing for 365 yards. Too bad 364 of them came in garbage time against base defense. So it really didn't matter. Miami improves to, thank for Cap, 0-7 under 40 degrees. 0-7.
I think that's just Tua. The Dolphins have been playing in weather like that forever.
Sorry. Yes, in the Tua era.
Yeah.
Yes, in the Tua era. Who in their right fucking mind at the NFL said, let's put them November, snowy, in Lambeau. That's going to be a good game. And then, look, I just want an NFL referee or one of the NFL refs on the big things now, the big networks. Someone explain to me why that's an illegal shift. Because it's not. Because one ref called a false start, which means play is dead. That's it. Play is dead when the false start is called. You knew when they were huddling up, something funky was fucking happening. And I'm not saying, right, it's not rigged. But if there's one time where you're sitting there, I'm like, that one felt a little much. That one felt a little in favor of the boys in red and white. Now the Raiders raided. That's so fair. The Raiders fucked up so horribly on that. Jackson Powers Johnson, horrible. But you got to be kidding me. That's a joke. False start. Kansas City's a first round bounce. They're gonna get a bye. They're gonna get a bye. 100% they'll be getting a bye. They're losing in the first round.
Weird stat for them. They've won 14 one-score games in a row. And 9 of them have been this year.
Yeah.
Or like
no,
9.
10.
Like
they're 10 and 1.
Okay, so 10 of their 11 wins. Wait, is it 11?
10,
11,
10
right?
of their 14. 10 of their last 14 wins. Yeah, I imagine that includes the playoffs. I forget the stat. I imagine that includes the playoffs.
Yeah, I think it was like all but one of their wins this year have been by 7 points or less.
And we always say, good teams find ways to win.
Regression of the mean is coming.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. We always say good teams find ways to win. And that's very true. Good teams find ways to win. However, you're really struggling against like bottom of the barrel teams. I will say Carolina gave you a good game, and it's not like you played bad in that game. I honestly think the Panthers game this year is the only game they've truly won. Because offense showed up. Defense didn't really show up. They've been regressing heavily. But the offense showed up. You played a game. It's not like Carolina flubbed many opportunities. Carolina's a bad team, so they maybe missed some throws to the end zone. They maybe missed a couple opportunities, but it wasn't like 3 missed field goals. It wasn't a fumbled snap to end the game, which it shouldn't have been. But it wasn't things like fucking the left side of the Denver Broncos field goal unit getting blown up to block the field goal. It's not those things. Carolina gave you a game. But if we're sitting here saying the only game the Chiefs truly won this year and didn't fucking flub up was the Carolina Panthers, really?
Yeah, it's rough.
That's tough. That's really hard.
All right,
okay.
Let's get into some of these injuries. But before we do that, let's pay a few bills and talk about our sister site, Women in Fantasy Football, and their partnership with Trophy Smack. Head over to trophysmack.com/WOFF. That's WOFF. Get all of your achievement-based needs. We're coming up on the end of the fantasy football season. 'Tis the season to buy your championship trophies and rings and
loser
smack
trophies and rings.
And your losers trophies, rings, greeting cards that say, thanks for sucking and making my life easier. Show some love to the commissioner of your league. All that good stuff you can get over at trophysmack.com/WOFF, WOFF. When you use that unique link, any and all those commissions that we earn go directly towards us helping women get to some of these NFL media events, i.e. the Super Bowl, the NFL Draft, Scouting Combine. We're lucky enough to be able to get passes to these events, and we want to be able to provide these women more than just the opportunities to go, actually help fund their trip. So anything you get from trophysmack.com/WOFF, WOFF, goes directly to that. All right, let's get into some of these injuries. Quarterback position, pretty simple this week. 2 questionable quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence, Brock Purdy. Running backs out this week, J.K. Dobbins, Austin Eckler. Questionable are Amari DiMercato, Breece Hall, Tajay Spears, and Jamal Williams. At the wide receiver position, a couple of Colts wide receivers, Josh Downs, Ashton Dulin are out, as well as Jalen Coker for the Panthers. Questionable, you have Xavier Hutchinson, Alec Pierce, Demario Douglas, Devonta Smith, Johnny Wilson, and Keon Coleman. And at the tight end position, Josh Oliver, Jatavian Sanders, Dalton Kincaid, all out. Rams' Tyler Higbee is questionable. And for those kicker lovers out there, Younghoe Koo is questionable for the Atlanta Falcons. All right. Ready to start getting in on the start sit question, Joe?
Sure.
All right. Friendly reminder, we do have the super chat function available. If you have a pressing start sit question or really any question you want to shoot to the top of the line, super chat is the way to do it. Drop all your questions in the chat. We will be here for 60 to 90 minutes, however long it takes to answer all of your start sit questions, because maybe you win against Josh Jacobs. Maybe you win against Jaden Reed. Maybe you win against Brock Bowers. If you faced me in one league where I have literally all three of them, answer your questions, and Joe will try to help you. Because I'm not.
I'm pretty good at it, so.
All right, first one here from Caesar. Start 1. Ramondre Stevenson, Brian Robinson, Chuba Hubbard. Joseph.
Stevenson.
What's with the love for Stevenson? Dude's been ass lately.
He's been asked. Brian Robinson plays the best run defense in the NFL, and Chuba Hubbard sees the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You think the Titans are the best run defense in the NFL?
Why don't you look at fantasy running backs not named the Detroit Lions against the Tennessee Titans and tell me how they do? They don't do good.
I mean, that's fair, but Commanders also have an offensive coordinator that will literally just run straight up the middle.
Okay, cool. That's awesome.
I mean, just saying. I'm actually kind of curious now what the points against for the
Titans. It's not good. It's not good. You're going to tell me Brian Robinson's been good the last 4 to 5 weeks? I know he's been injured in a couple of them, but his last 4 to 5 weeks.
Tennessee allows 20.8 per game.
Yeah, combined.
Yeah, combined for all running backs. No, I get that.
Yeah.
4 rushing touchdowns.
Juicy.
Only 73 rushing yards a game. Or excuse me, that's 4 receptions per game. 0.6, 11.
You could tell me all the stats you fucking want. They're a top. They're not the top 5 run defense in the NFL. You're not playing Brian Robinson. You're not.
I mean, considering there's no Austin Eckler.
Nope.
Makes it a little easier.
Nope, because Jeremy McNichol is going to come in and take those catches, so it doesn't matter. Stevenson. Brian Robinson needs to fall into the end zone. Stevenson will actually see, passing volume.
See, I'm just giving you shit because the right answer here is Chuba. The Bucs' run defense has been ass.
No,
they've not been as advertised.
Nah.
Jonathan Brooks had 5 snaps last week.
And he's going to have 10 this week. He's just going to double them up every week. No, Stevenson.
I mean, I disagree with that, but, that's fine.
Stevenson.
Yeah, it's Chuba for me, but Stevenson hasn't scored in 3 weeks. Full PPR, Austin, who has the better floor between JSN and Rachaad White? I think this is pretty easily JSN, Joe.
I always want to lean the running back, but yeah, higher ceiling and better floor. You're playing Jackson Smith and Jigba. This is the question.
I mean, the Jets defense has not been good at all.
Yeah,
and Rachaad White is losing carries to Bucky Irving.
Who would have thought? God.
That's literally what we've been saying.
Who would have thought? Jeez. Show's not right about a lot of things. When we're right, no, I'm kidding. We've actually been pretty good this year.
We have a good
season-long stuff. So,
and it's interesting too because literally the next question involves Bucky Irving. Would you go Bucky or Kenneth Walker? I think this is actually a really good question. I still would lean Kenneth Walker here.
I would also
even in the really good matchup for Bucky.
I would also lean Kenneth Walker.
Yeah,
Kenneth Walker's not competing with anybody.
Yeah, and Zach Charbonnet has really been phased out of that Seattle offense, it feels like.
Yeah, very, very minor. Thank God they spent a high draft pick on him.
Yeah, Pete Carroll, they don't have to deal with him anymore.
Pete Carroll and his fucking high draft picks. Oh, boy.
So bad.
It's horrible.
All right, Caesar said he flexed Waddle over Rico Dowdle. Nobody to blame but himself.
I mean...
I just wanted to highlight this, Joe, because Ryan and I talked about this on Tuesday, and I know we spent a lot of time shitting on Rico Dowdle, but he's actually been getting volume.
Yeah, I mean, if
he's been producing fantasy points.
Sure. Listen, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Tua had 365 passing yards, right? Was he actually good in that football game? No. The Dolphins were horrible in that football game. But at the end of the day in fantasy football, he has 365 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, I believe 2. So that, yes, because that fucking tip pass to Tyreek Hill, dickhead. So that happened. So like at the end of the day, he has 365 and 2 touchdowns, right? And that's what you want in fantasy football. Rico Dowdle, at the end of the day, you're gonna watch a game of Rico Dowdle and say, how is he employed? That's what you're gonna say.
Yeah, the Giants' run defense really has
horrible.
regressed this season.
I would start anybody at any level of football against the New York Giants run defense right now. Remember Bobby Okereke? No, you fucking don't, because he's been dog shit this year.
Yeah.
Okereke's been horrible. So in this situation, Caesar, I would have probably told you to flex Dowdle. Again, hindsight's always 20/20, but we all know my visceral hatred for Waddle and the Dolphins in cold.
For Tua.
Both. Because, well, here's the thing. I think Waddle is a good player. I think he's also a bitch, which doesn't really help, because Mike McDaniel, I think, is breeding bitches in Miami. That's what he's doing. It's what he's doing. Did you see Georgia play football? They have 0 ounce of oomph to them. Gen Z millennials. No, play with some fucking edge to you, please. Waddle, I wouldn't have liked, because 1, Tua, 2, Waddle, 3, cold. Those things don't add up for Jalen Waddle to play a good game of football. And Dowdle obviously just had the better matchup. So yes, Caesar, you are to blame. And we live and we learn from these situations.
I don't know. I wasn't on Wednesday's show, just in case he asked
did not.
This
question did not come up on Wednesday, because I know Ryan and all my 3 downsides were Dolphins. All of them were Dolphins. I said Tua outside the top 20, Achane outside the top 20, which 7 fucking receptions kicked me in the ass there, and then no Dolphins wide receiver cracks the top 30. I feel very confident on that one, although that Tyreek touchdown.
No, Tyreek had a decent day.
I would say that Tyreek touchdown might kick me in the nuts on that one. And then someone asked, how do you feel about Jonnu? And I was like, Jonnu's fine, because the tight end could get 5 for 40 and still be a top 5 tight end.
He goes 10 for 1.
And he goes 10 for 113, and that's fine. That's why I said, yes, you're starting Jonnu Smith. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
So
Jonnu's a must-start rest of the season, in all honesty, the way they're using him in that.
Yes, because you want to know what defenses are doing? They're realizing cover 2 and cover 3, you should not give up the big play against Miami and let them go underneath, because they can't fucking win that way. They can't win that way. So, look at that. Genius. It's almost like people listen to us, and they should. Just take away the big play and you beat Miami. Continue.
All right. George went against Keenan Allen, and Amon-Ra did not do Amon-Ra things on Thursday night. So, he needs a ceiling play. You going Chase Brown or Juwan Jennings?
Chase Brown. Juwan Jennings will have a backup in a blizzard. Chase Brown.
The blizzard, probably. I still think Brock Purdy plays.
Okay, great. Brock Purdy in a blizzard.
Yeah.
Anybody not named Tom Brady, I do not want throwing in a blizzard.
Well, Josh Allen's okay throwing in a blizzard.
Yeah. He's not great. I'm going to tell you right now, he's not great. He has the arm.
Yeah,
there's one guy that could play in every fucking element. That was Tom Brady. 59-0 against the Tennessee Titans in 2009. In a blizzard. You couldn't see Wes Welker. That's how white it was outside. And they destroyed the Titans.
I saw on one of the NFL memes once, I think it was last Thursday's game, the Browns-Steelers, where one of the backup Browns tight ends caught a pass, and
Harrison Bryant? Oh no, he's on the
Raiders.
Yeah.
But it was one of the backup Browns tight ends who happens to be white, and Al Michaels called it as David Njoku caught the football. And they were making a joke about the blizzard and like covering up the color of the skin and all. It was a whole fucking thing. So I thought it was hilarious.
I think Al Michaels needs to retire. I think he needs to retire.
He's right up there with Bob Costas, who actually finally announced that he's done calling.
Thank God!
Baseball
games. My goodness, he sounded like
Chase Brown against the Steelers, definitely not the best matchup, but he's handling like 100% of the running back share right now. So
it's Chase Brown, easy. Yeah,
I agree. All right. He also wants to know: keep starting David Njoku or pivot to Freiermuth.
You're gonna start Njoku. Russell Wilson notoriously does not throw to the tight end position. Notoriously. He had Jimmy Graham. Just said nah. Jimmy Graham had like 2, maybe 3 catches a game. And yes, he did end up having like, I think 8 to 10 touchdowns that season. but he'd have one catch a game, and that would be his touchdown. So, I mean, you're relying on Freiermuth to get that, but Njoku's found the end zone, a couple 2-point conversions with Jameis at quarterback, and he's seeing the football. He's seeing targets. So, it's Njoku right now is set it and forget it.
Agreed. You're getting a little too cute here trying to pivot off of David Njoku.
Freiermuth is not good enough.
Yeah.
There are guys you can play over Njoku, but Freiermuth is not one of them.
Freiermuth is getting out-targeted by the backup tight end right now. There's literally no point in starting Pat Freiermuth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Caesar. In a standard league, starting one wide receiver and one flex, you going Garrett Wilson, Ramondre Stevenson, Terry McLaurin, or Devonta Smith if he plays. I can tell you right now the answer is not Devonta Smith.
Yeah, well, standard, you're going to go the running back and the flex. Stevenson.
I would disagree with that because I don't like Stevenson right now. I'm taking McLaurin and Wilson.
Okay, well, McLaurin's going to see... once again, who would have guessed the Tennessee Titans have a good defense? Who would have guessed?
Jerry Sneed's on IR, so I'm not really worried about the Tennessee pass defense. Okay,
well, I am. And Terry McLaurin has a horrible week, if not for an 86-yard touchdown. And I'm a massive Terry McLaurin fan. I have him and Jaden Daniels. They propelled me to a win last week in my work league. I will go Garrett Wilson and Ramondre Stevenson.
Well, all right. I think we can both agree that Garrett Wilson is the set it and forget it one in this, regardless of whether it's standard PPR or half PPR, right?
Yeah, and you're going to hate yourself for it, but yes, Garrett.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Who has the most upside at that point? Stevenson or McLaurin? Because Stevenson hadn't scored in 3 weeks and isn't even seeing passes.
I'm still Stevenson. The
McLaurin.
Colts' run defense is atrocious.
I don't disagree with that. But y'all's offensive line is terrible.
Yeah, correct.
And he is not seeing holes at all.
Yeah, correct. We need to discount last week because if you haven't noticed, the Patriots just forget what the sport is when they play against Tua in Miami.
So 20 carries for 40 yards is cool for you. Because that's basically what Stevenson is getting.
Okay, sure.
All right.
I'm telling you, he's gonna have 87 and a touchdown.
All right. Yeah.
Who just asked that question? I'm sorry, you took it off. Caesar,
Caesar,
know
yeah.
who's right on this show. You watch every fucking week. You know who's right on this show. Who told somebody play DJ Moore and he dropped 49? You're welcome. Listen to me. I said on Wednesday, somebody asked DJ Moore or somebody else. I said you should probably play DJ Moore. That's what DJ Moore or Tyreek Hill is like. DJ Moore. Caesar, you know who's right on this show. That's all I'm saying. You listen. You watch every week. You know who's right on this show. Start Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah. From over on Twitch, 12-team, half PPR. Start one running back, one flex. We go on Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones, Drake London, or Terry McLaurin. A lot of Terry McLaurin questions already.
That makes sense. People are seeing Tennessee, and there's a red number next to Terry McLaurin because Tennessee's defense has been pretty good against the pass this year. I will go Jonathan Taylor. I'm just making sure I'm looking at Jonathan Taylor, Drake London.
I like Aaron Jones this week.
I like Aaron Jones too.
I don't know that I would start him over Taylor.
I watch the Patriots every week, and I mean they're so bad on defense, especially in run defense. I know JT's kind of been a ghost with Anthony Richardson back there, but this should be the week.
If there's a get right game for him, it's this week.
It's this one.
Yeah. I agree. I would go Taylor and Drake London here. I mean, you're not sitting Drake London, period. Like, he's been good this season. They're at home. The Chargers' pass defense is a fraud. I like it.
Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Real quick.
True.
Who's right, Caesar? That's why you listen. That's why you listen to me and not Ryan and his dumbass telling you Tyreek Hill. Idiot. Sorry, back to this. Also, if you don't feel comfortable with Jonathan Taylor, we'll both say that Aaron Jones is a fine start.
Agreed.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Drake London's the flex, though. Drake London is the flex.
Agreed. All right, another one from Twitch. Start one. Zay Flowers, Darnell Mooney, Juwan Jennings, Michael Pittman Jr. Really between Mooney and Jennings, considering Pittman and obviously that, and then trying to stay away from Flowers because of the matchup against Philly. I think you're on the right track between Mooney and Jennings, truthfully. I would lean Mooney.
You're not playing any San Francisco 49er this week, including Christian McCaffrey, unless Trent Williams is in the game. Now, I'm going to say you probably don't have a better option to start Christian McCaffrey, so you're probably playing him anyways. But if Trent Williams is not in the game, then you're in trouble.
Oh, that whole offense is terrible.
Yep.
They don't know how to function without that left tackle.
If Trent Williams is not in the game, you're in trouble. Jennings, no way. Pittman's going to see Christian Gonzalez. Literally the one good thing about the New England Patriots is Christian Gonzalez. Darnell Mooney. This one's pretty easy. Darnell Mooney.
I agree. It's Darnell Mooney for me. I don't think Flowers has the upside. He's going to see one of Quinion Mitchell or Cooper DeJean on both those guys. Those kids have been lighting it up. So,
yep.
I think Bateman might be able to get free for a couple deep shots here and there.
He'll rip one.
Yeah.
Maybe two. It's just, will Lamar hit him?
Well, that's the other side of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Slay's out?
That game.
Slay's out?
Slay's out, yeah.
Okay.
So you'll see some Isaiah Rodgers, and he can be had. So
yeah, that's what I was going to... I mean, even if Slay was in, Slay has been beat deep in his career.
But that's the thing. They've slid a lot more safety help over on his side because Quinion Mitchell has been so good.
Yeah, you'd slide safety help to the 32-year-old DB and not the 21-year-old DB. So,
especially the one that can keep up with everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Dynasty trade here is DJ Moore and Drake London for CeeDee Lamb an overpay in your eyes, Joe?
I don't know if it's an overpay. It's two inconsistent guys for guys pretty consistent. I would maybe ask for like a mid-round pick or a late pick just to throw in as trade bait at some other time. I don't think it's an overpay. I think it's people look at like, oh damn, that's like 2 wide receiver ones for CeeDee Lamb, but
that's the price for CeeDee Lamb. He's the top 3, top 5 dynasty.
I was going to say that's I'm not a big trade guy. Even I do trade in dynasty, but I love DJ Moore and Drake London, so I'm the stay put side of things. But this is not an overpay. This to me is pretty fair. I'd say this is pretty fair.
I think it's a pretty fair trade too. I'll add a little bit of context to this. In the middle of last season, I made basically this exact same trade. I traded Drake London and a first-round pick, which turned out to be a mid-first for CeeDee Lamb. And, I mean, we know the type of season that he ended up having last year.
Did I get that mid-first?
No, you didn't. This wasn't that league.
Okay. Let's say I had 6.
So, I'm perfectly fine with this trade. I think that DJ Moore's dynasty value probably sits in that 15 to 20 range, simply because of the growing pains that are associated with Caleb Williams at quarterback, and obviously now the new head coach search. Drake London has taken that step into probably a low end dynasty wide receiver 1, but Lamb is still pretty well regarded as a top 3, top 5 dynasty wide receiver. So I think this is a pretty fair trade. So I wouldn't overthink it too much. All right. Also, this week, we're going Cade Otton or Taysom Hill?
Otton.
Joe.
Otton.
I will say, aside from, the fact that Taysom Hill had his big blow-up week, so that means he's probably going to shit the bed this week.
That's what I'm saying. He had his blow-up week.
Jamal Williams is questionable. If Jamal Williams plays, you're not going to see big, crazy Taysom Hill week. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Cade Otton definitely has seen a downtick in targets with the return of Mike Evans, but I think you're still going to get a better level of consistency with him than you will with Taysom Hill. So that's where I would lean with that.
Otton.
All right, next up from Albert. Albert needs 2. James Cook, Bucky Irving, Chuba Hubbard, full PPR. Who we sitting this week?
I want to sit James Cook. I don't know why. Just something about that doesn't feel good. I'll go Cook. It's either him or Bucky.
Yeah, see, this one is tough. I think I would. Yeah, I think I would lean Cook here.
I think Bucky and Chuba have higher upsides than James Cook.
I agree with that. I think when you're dealing with these Blizzard games, these are Josh Allen takeover games, especially on the ground.
I mean, I'm not even worried about that. Like, I don't think San Francisco's. I think San Francisco's defense is overrated. Fred Warner's one of the best middle linebackers in the NFL. He's the standalone guy.
Broken ankle.
Playing a fractured ankle for 10 straight weeks. Absolute maniac. I'm going to sit James Cook. I'm sitting James Cook in every league I can, I think. I think there's one league where, I have nobody better to play, and I'm okay with James Cook, but I think Irving and Hubbard have higher upsides.
Yeah, Hubbard's usage is just astronomical at this point, and Bucky's starting to take over that backfield and has an A-plus matchup. So I think I would lean sitting Cook here.
I'm looking at the league to give some context here.
All right, well, while you look at that,
yep,
we're going to sit one out of Juwan Jennings, Deebo Samuel, Darnell Mooney.
Jennings.
I would sit Deebo here.
Deebo has the ability to run the football.
And they're not even giving it to him.
Okay. He has the ability to.
Well, Jennings has been the unquestioned wide receiver 1 for them.
Again, he has San Francisco, blizzard game, Purdy, bad hand, whatever his fucking injury is. Deebo Samuel has the opportunity to run the football. Juwan Jennings does not. You're sitting Juwan Jennings. Blizzard game, Deebo, warm team. Fine. Ideally, you're starting no San Francisco 49er this week. Ideally. Correct. That is the ideal situation. Also, that league, I have Breece Hall, James Cook, Ramondre Stevenson. Breece Hall has the opportunity.
I'd be starting Cook over Ramondre, but and I.
Here's the thing. My backup running backs are Austin Eckler, Audric Estime. I'm not playing Estime, and Breece Hall might not play, so I have to flex somebody else.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know.
There you go.
For this, yeah, we're kind of split, but it's definitely a San Francisco 49ers.
Yes.
All right, from George.
Yes.
Is the Bills' defense a good play in a blizzard?
Yes. No Trent Williams. Brock Purdy hurt. They can't throw. Yes. Every fucking which way. Yes. San Francisco is a broken team.
They are.
Literally, like physically and mentally.
Almost like somebody this offseason said that San Francisco would.
All of us said that. We all hate Kyle Shanahan. No one likes him. 49ers fans don't even like him.
I don't know. I got so much shit for my preseason ranking of Deebo Samuel that, because I had him as like wide receiver 40 something.
Deebo did start off pretty quick. He's cooled off, but yes.
That's what I'm saying. All right.
Yes.
Would you start Michael Wilson over Juwan Jennings?
When I tell you Juwan Jennings may see like 2 catches,
that's probably 2 more than what Michael Wilson's going to have.
If there is snow and it is a blizzard, the 49ers will not be completing passes. I have seen teams that are above fucking Chicago, anyone above Chicago, teams like that play in cold weather, blizzard-like conditions, don't play well. They don't. Those teams do not play good football.
Wilson has 5 catches in his last 3 games.
Cool.
I mean, there's like no real upside there with.
Found the end zone in one of them.
Not in those 3 games.
All right. Well, he found the end zone at some point. Found the end zone at some point. I'm not starting Juwan Jennings
here. I still would go Jennings, but
I'm not starting Juwan
because
Jennings.
Again, I'm looking at, do you have a better option? Michael Wilson's not a better option.
Could be.
I doubt it.
Nick Westbrook-Akine on waivers.
There you go. Now him, I would play over Juwan Jennings.
Nick Westbrook-Akine out there. Go get him.
All right, who you sitting between Drake May and Russell Wilson? Russ against the Bengals, May against the Colts.
Probably. Russ. Drake May has rushing upside. Drake May leads quarterbacks in yards per carry. Fun fact. That's insane. With like 9.7. He's almost averaging a first down every time he runs the football. I'll go Drake May.
I like Drake May here.
Yeah, solely
starting.
Starting solely for the rushing upside. I think Russell Wilson has a fantastic matchup against Cincinnati, but he's not running. And Drake May has a good matchup against Indy. So, dome team.
Indy's defense has been not good.
Not good. Dome team outside under 20-degree weather.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go. Yeah, it's Drake May for me as well. All right, tight end. You going with Kyle Pitts or Will Dissly?
Dissly. The Chargers have allowed the least amount of points to tight ends, I believe. I believe that's a stat.
That would make sense.
I know Andrews had a touchdown and looked decent, but Dissly's been I don't. Apparently, they paid him the right amount of money because Will Dissly has looked good. I'm going Dissly.
They currently sit on the season. The Chargers do 11th fewest to the tight end position.
Okay. Yeah. That might, again, one pop week.
I mean, they've allowed, I think, one touchdown all season to tight ends. So.
And that was to Mark Andrews. So
yeah,
I don't. Yeah, Pitts hasn't given me anything to reassure that he should be in there. Will Dissly's been hot, so ride the hot hand.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too with Will Dissly. I sat Pitts over Noah Gray in one league. And that was me full well knowing that Noah Gray wasn't going to have
last week or this
game.
week?
No, this week.
Oh.
This week. Yeah.
That's second leading receiver on the Kansas City Chiefs, Noah Gray to you.
Exactly.
That's Duke University LinkedIn profile graduate, Noah Gray to you.
Yeah, we'd be going Will Dissly here. All right. Quarterback. You going with Matthew Stafford, Anthony Richardson, or Will Levis? Joe.
Richardson. Yeah. Actually, they've been decent against running quarterback.
How is this answer not Matthew Stafford for you? They're playing the fucking Saints.
Who are the Colts playing?
I know who the Colts are playing, but it's
Patriots.
Anthony Richardson. The dude is terrible.
Yeah, but he saw a bad AFC East team 2 weeks ago and ruined them. So
yes, but he was coming in with extra motivation because he just got benched.
Yeah, it's between Stafford and Richardson. Will Levis can shove it up his ass.
I like Will Levis's schedule the rest of the season, but when you're looking at these three, I'm going to take the guy that's got the best weapons, and that's Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Kupp and Nakua should have over 100 each. So
exactly. All right, you going Devonta Smith, Michael Wilson, or Devon Vele?
Well, one probably won't play. So Devon.
I think Smith plays. They're just not throwing the ball enough.
Yeah. Devon Vele.
I think I'd go Vele here too. Michael Wilson I think people are just kind of up in arms because he had over 50 yards last week, but he really hasn't done anything all season. And that Cardinals passing attack, I mean, it's Trey McBride or bust at this point, which is sad because we all love Marvin Harrison Jr. So, yeah, it's Vele for me. I think they got the Browns secondary. They're going to try to bottle up Cortland Sutton. That should open up some opportunities for Vele. All right, sit one. Okay, first off, you're not sitting Justin Jefferson or Cooper Kupp. So this answer is Juwan Jennings or Tank Dell. And I think we've all kind of you're fading all your San Francisco guys.
God, but they're both horrible.
Yeah,
they both suck. Yeah, I mean, in this case, you're sitting Juwan Jennings. I don't like Tank Dell, but you're sitting Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, at least Dell has a good matchup against the Jaguars. That if they get going, he could see something.
To be fair,
we all know this is going to be a Joe Mixon game. So
to be fair, Jennings has a good matchup too. The Buffalo defense isn't good. They're not playing in ideal conditions.
That's fair. All right, from Mateo, pick 2.5 PPR. Going Taysom Hill, Calvin Ridley, David Njoku, Zach Ertz, or Tyler Lockett. I think we can both agree that you can drop Lockett.
Yeah, why are there 3 tight ends in this question? That's what hurts me. Ridley, Ertz. Ridley and Ertz.
Ridley is the definite for me.
Yeah. It's between him and Njoku. I'm not playing Taysom Hill.
I think there's more upside with Njoku. Ertz is definitely a safer bet.
Yeah, he's a like 8-point, 9-point guy.
Yeah, it's half PPR though. I think I would go with the upside with
Njoku. That's fine. I'll go Ridley and
Yeah.
Njoku. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
I think that's where I would go. Like I said, the whole thing with Taysom Hill, you have to just monitor whether Jamal Williams plays or not. If Jamal Williams is out, this is Taysom Hill all day.
Yeah, I'll say Taysom Hill. Reluctantly.
Oh shoot! I just unstarted a question. God damn it!
You dumbass.
Shut up.
I got it. Here it is.
I think it was. Yeah, that's the one. All right. Devon Vele or Quentin Johnston?
Until Quentin Johnson remembers how to catch the football, Devon Vele. Welcome back to your
that
rookie.
was an awful showing on Monday. Holy crap. That was bad.
3rd and 6, 2-yard drag route. Beat the guy by 3 steps. Right in the fucking hands.
Oh, my God.
Welcome back.
And Johnson had been on a roll, too. He had 3 straight games with a touchdown. I was feeling good. And
I know. I was
just like...
I was getting ready to all right, year 3, if he keeps it going, I'm going to eat my words. Nope. Nailed it right in the fucking head. That guy sucks. That guy blows. He's horrible.
Oh, yeah, it's Baylor. All right. Jalen Warren or Brian Thomas Jr.? And how do you feel about Brian Thomas Jr. going against Derek Stingley? You're the defensive guy.
Derek Stingley plays football? Crazy.
Yeah, he really hasn't been that good this year.
Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah. Kamari Lassiter on the other side is the guy you want to worry about. Derek Stingley has not been good. He had a couple turnovers, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago. Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, it's BTJ for me as well. The Steelers have been getting Jalen Warren a lot more involved, which I like. And, of course,
I do like Warren this week as well. But
yeah,
if it's these two, it's Brian Thomas.
I agree. I think there's more upside there, especially if Trevor Lawrence does come back this week. He's going to look Brian Thomas Jr.'s way. So I think there's more upside there in that front. The Texans defense it's been hot and cold, and they're on the road this week. Not like it's a bad matchup by any means. Like the Jaguars suck, but
they've allowed a lot of points, but they've been a great fantasy defense because they've scored a touchdown the previous 2 weeks. So it's been great.
Nice. All right. One wants to know who is his flex. Ramondre Stevenson, Juwan Jennings, Taysom Hill, Nick Westbrook, Akine.
I think Hill might be a double type in there.
Okay. Or Darnell Mooney.
Mooney.
Yeah, it's Mooney for me as well. Man, Westbrook Akine is 6 touchdowns in the last 7 games.
Yes, because it was.
There's definitely a lot to like with that. I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah, but
I think the more consistent option here is
Mooney's
Darnell
more
Mooney.
Consistent.
Yeah. This all goes out the window though if Jamal Williams is out because I'm taking Taysom Hill. I don't care.
No, it doesn't. Darnell Mooney. I don't care. This one's Darnell Mooney. This one's pretty easy.
All right, start 2.
He's fucking Juwan.
Well, Josh Downs is out, so you can cross him off. Juwan Jennings, Nick Westbrook, Akine, Valdez, Scantling, or Debo.
This is insane. I'm gonna say Nick Westbrook, Akine, and Marquez Valdez. Scantling.
Yeah, this is the all upside squad right here. It's MVS and
this is the
Westbrook.
Deep ball touchdown squad. This is the deep ball.
And the Rams give
squad.
up a lot of deep plays.
Yeah.
That was a lot of the reason. I mean, aside from the fact that he's AJ Brown, but that's why I liked AJ Brown last week against the Rams because they give up deep shots. This is how you attack the Rams secondary. It's deep shots, and MVS gets open. So if
only Rashid Shaheed was still healthy,
oh my God,
this man would have 300
right
yards this week. Oh, it's got to be Valdez Scantling. Yeah, no, MVS and Nick Westbrook Akine, and this honestly really isn't even a decision for me. This one's pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm just completely out on San Francisco in all honesty. All right, should have Myers as my wide receiver 2 from here on out. His wide receiver 1 is Justin Jefferson. RBs are Breece Hall, Kieran Williams, Kenneth Walker, and Stevenson. Tight end is Kittle. Has Jennings, Downs, Mooney, Worthy, and Westbrook Akine on his bench. I think Mooney's really your wide receiver 2, truthfully.
In this, yeah, I mean, I think you're flip-flopping Myers and Mooney depending on this, but I've said this since they got Gardner Minshew. I want Aiden O'Connell in the game for fantasy football reasons. I think O'Connell's a better quarterback.
He's not
than Gardner.
afraid to sling it. Yeah.
No, he's not afraid to sling it. I think he's a better quarterback as well than Gardner Minshew. So,
well, now Minshew's out for the season, so you're good. You get all the AOC.
And you're fine. Yes, I don't know why they were flip-flopping. Like, when they brought in Minshew and they started him, I was like, okay, cool, I guess. Like, Minshew in Vegas makes sense. But O'Connell overall, I think, has a higher upside and is a better quarterback. So with him in there, Jacoby fucking Myers is open on every play. He's another guy open on every play. And even when he's not, his contested catch rate is insane. He's fantastic. And it's him and Brock Bowers in the passing game. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Bowers, whew, dog yesterday.
Dog. Brock Bowers is insane. Also,
he's on pace right now to break literally every tight end record as a rookie.
Yep. Brock
That's
fucking Bowers. Also,
except for touchdowns, I will say.
Also, Sincere McCormick really killing my Dylan Laub share in Dynasty. I did see Laub return a kick though, so I got excited. And Sincere McCormick can shove it. You and your UTSA, get out of here. Make way for the University of New Hampshire. You dick.
I will say I like Jennings on the bench. It's just isn't a good week for it. Once they get Trent Williams back, I think Jennings goes back to being a top 24 option rest of the season. But yeah, I mean, you've got everything covered between Myers and Mooney there for your wide receiver 2 spot, especially because you've got 3 really good running backs as your, one of those will likely be your flex. So
yes.
All right, another one from Mateo. Pick 2, half PPR. I think this is the one that we just answered for him, actually.
Yes. Yep. Same question.
Millie sat Reed on Thursday. Kind of regret it. Kind of don't. Started Ramondre over him due to the matchup. Well, if you've been listening so far, Millie, Joe is all aboard the Ramondre Stevenson train.
I would have probably told you to start Jaden Reed, though, if you asked the question on Wednesday.
I was going to say, dude, that prop that you showed me, I'm like, there's no way he's going over this total. And he didn't. He just bailed you out with 2 touchdowns.
Oh, 100% bailed out with 2 touchdowns. Yeah. Well, first off, it didn't hit because I had 2 under 248 and a half an interception.
Yeah, you went heavy against them.
Well, and I neglected to realize that halfway through the second quarter, Green Bay would be up so much that they just play base defense. And if you can't throw against base defense, you shouldn't be an NFL quarterback. I mean, if this was a question, I would have said start Jaden Reed. But I don't hate Ramondre. Obviously, the 2 touchdowns really kill you. And also, it could have been a lot worse because, what was it, the first drive of the game, Jaden Reed cooked Jalen Ramsey, and that could have been another 60-yard touchdown. So it could have been a lot worse for you. I think Ramondre Stevenson finds the end zone. I think Indianapolis is so bad. They are horrible. And New England needs to get their best players the football. Ramondre and Demario Douglas are their 2 best players and 2 best offensive weapons.
How dare you leave off Hunter Henry?
I said exactly what I said. Listen, in New England, we love our white tight ends. They are all threats. Okay? Austin Hooper. Dog.
All right, from Joe. Start 1. Darnell Mooney, Khalil Shakir, or Cortland Sutton?
Mooney.
I'm going Sutton. I love Mooney this week, but Sutton, you cannot sit Cortland Sutton right now.
I'm okay. I'm okay with that as well. I'm Darnell Mooney.
Yeah. If Mooney was the team's number 1 option, I might be a little bit more willing. I think he's going to have a good game, but the way that they're targeting Cortland Sutton, right? Dude's the wide receiver 2 since week 8. You're not sitting that.
Hey, Josh, where do you go to school?
SMU, baby.
SMU, wide receiver U, baby. Look out. Cole Beasley. Emmanuel Sanders. Cortland Sutton. Continue. Yes, you're benching Kittle for TJ Hawkinson. Yes. This week, you're benching George Kittle for TJ Hawkinson.
I still don't love it.
I
like Hawk. He's somebody that I wouldn't want to bench, truthfully. I get the conditions. I get it. The way that George Kittle operates, that is literally the only San Francisco 49er I would feel comfortable starting.
Hey, fair. Totally fair. Totally fine. Brock Purdy, injury, cold weather, not used to it. Bye-bye, TJ Hawkinson.
That's fair. And against the Cardinals, Hawk is fine. This is one of those things where you have a perfectly capable backup
to play over Kittle.
Play over a questionable starter.
In a lot of scenarios, I'm not doing it. If someone came to me and said Pitts or Kittle, I'll still play Kittle. That's fine. You're going to play George Kittle. TJ Hawkinson is a good tight end. And before anybody comes at me, I know Brock Purdy played at Iowa State. There's no fucking blizzards at Iowa State. It's just freezing fucking cold. Blizzards are a whole different thing. Before anybody comments that, throws it in there, I know he played at Iowa State. I don't care. You're benching Kittle this week.
All right. Is Tyrone Tracy playable moving forward? Saw some weird splits thing on Thanksgiving, and he didn't even start.
I don't know.
What's 14 fantasy points.
Well, he fell into the end zone for one of them. I'm looking at their schedule. Hold on. They play New Orleans, Baltimore, Atlanta, Indy. Yes. No. Against New Orleans, sure. Against Baltimore, I wouldn't. Atlanta and Indy, fine. I just,
Yeah,
I don't know who's a better option for you.
That's really the biggest thing. There aren't very many better options at running back at this point. So with Tracy, to me, he's kind of He's an RB2 that's very matchup dependent.
And for most people,
especially rest of season.
For most people, I imagine if you have Tyrone Tracy on your team, you picked him up because you needed a running back, and he was good at the moment. Like a guy,
and he's still been good. He hasn't been bad.
Oh yeah, he hasn't been bad.
It's just the Giants as a whole have been bad.
Yeah, but like a guy with like Saquon and Kenneth Walker wasn't like, oh, I need Tyrone Tracy. Like he's a luxury, but yeah, I can't imagine you have better options than Tracy. So yeah.
Rachaad White or James Cook?
I'll probably go James.
It's Cook for me.
Yeah, I'll go James Cook in this situation.
Yeah, Bucky's coming for that job. So you're hoping for passing volume, but against the Panthers, you don't need to throw to running backs. You just need to run against them. So
yeah,
that's where I'm at. All right, from Aldo, start one full PPR. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Adam Thielen, Demario Douglas.
You can find him 10 yards past Quentin Lake. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Guys, like I don't know what to tell you. Derek Carr is either throwing it 2 yards or 200. And there's one guy that is going to be down there when he's throwing it 200. And that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
This is what I'll say.
I'm going
full PPR, to me, it makes sense. It's Demario Douglas, right?
Sure, and that's fine.
The upside is 1,000% MVS, and Adam Thielen shouldn't even be on a roster.
Yeah, Thielen you can drop. I'm still going Valdez-Scantling. Like if you want to start Douglas,
it depends on the rest of my roster. It depends on the rest of my roster, right? Like if I win against Brock Bowers, it's unquestionably MVS, right?
Let him lose
because I need to chase the points. But if I played against Tyrone Tracy, I'm fine going to Demario Douglas.
Look, guys, all you need to know is I played Nick Westbrook-Akine last week in Dynasty, and I had a 92% chance to win the football game going into Sunday Night Football. And then my opponent, some dickhead, had Saquon Barkley. And then the guy to my right or to my left on screen, whatever fucking way you're looking at it, had Saquon, and he dropped 60 points. So play the upside play. Go Valdez-Scantling. Live your best life.
Yeah, right? Live your best life. Live or die by MVS.
Yeah. You probably die, but there's a chance you live.
All right. Joe did chime in. This is start 2, actually. So it's Calvin Ridley, Khalil Shakir, Quentin Johnston, or Devonta Smith.
The first 2.
Yeah, I think that's where I would lean. Part of me really wants to say QJ has a bounce back, but it's not Devonta Smith. I don't
know where it's going to bounce? Right off his fucking back trying to catch the football.
Yeah, probably.
It's not.
Probably.
Right off his chest plate.
There's a level of consistency with Shakir that obviously you don't get with Quentin Johnston. So, yeah, it's Ridley and Shakir.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Would you start TJ Hawkinson or Taysom Hill?
Hawk.
All right. South Sea, you seem like a new name here. I haven't seen you chime in much on the chat.
Hawk.
So I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. We're not big fans of Taysom Hill.
Shut up, Joe. I give Taysom till he busts. Bitch, he's been a bust for 12 fucking weeks.
No, 11. He had one good week.
Oh, sorry. Yes, this is week 13. My apologies. He'll be a bust for 12 weeks, though, after this week.
It really just boils down to this team, the Saints. They will use him as a backup running back when all their running backs are down. Jamal Williams is questionable for this game. He has missed the past 3 weeks. Kendre Miller has been on IR. So they have no choice but to go to Taysom Hill behind Alvin Kamara. If Jamal Williams plays, Taysom Hill's not going to be near as involved in this offense, plain and simple. The safest play with still good upside is TJ Hawkinson. People just get blinded by one big 40-point game and think that you can automatically start Taysom Hill week in and week out, and that is 100% not the case.
I will be throwing a party when Kendre Miller comes off IR. A party.
He's already been on IR once this year, so I don't think that they can bring him off.
Yes, they can. It's a 4-week IR because Dennis fucking Allen was a moron and put him on IR for no reason. Everyone's like, why?
I agree.
Why is he going on IR? He's not even hurt. Literally what people in the building were saying. Kendre's not even hurt. cool. Fuck you, Dennis Allen. You had to give us a week of Taysom Hill, you dickhead.
And I want to address this really quick. Joe, I wouldn't call a 14-point game and a 16-point game.
That's not a boom game.
Games.
No, that's
those are just pretty average games for.
It's a normal
they're
week.
Good games for a starting tight end, not boom games. 41 is a boom game.
Yeah,
just throwing that out there.
20 plus is a boom game.
Yeah,
that's 14 is what TJ Hawkinson gets on a weekly basis.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Quincy needs 2 wide receivers and 2 flex, 2 running backs. So, Kieran Williams,
Holy
Alvin
shit,
Kamara,
okay.
Brian Robinson Jr., Bucky Irving, Braylon Allen.
Okay, let's just start.
Debo Samuel.
Let's start with the running
Pickens.
backs first. There's so much happening.
Go 2 running backs.
Are we starting everybody here? Do we even have options to sit?
All right, well, here's the thing. You got 2 flexes as well, right? So, the 2 starting running backs are Kieran and Kamara, and I think we both can agree on that.
We're starting 6 guys, and there's 7 options. Kieran, Kamara, B-Rob, Bucky, Braylon, Debo, Pickens. I'm sorry. I take that back. Okay, we have to bench 3. Okay. Running backs, Kamara, Kieran. That's easy. That one's immediate.
So you're 2 wide receivers out of this. Pickens and Valdez-Scantling to me.
Pickens and Valdez-Scantling. Your
flex is Bucky, and are you going B-Rob against Tennessee, or are you taking
Bucky and Marvin Harrison? But if Breece Hall is ruled out, Braylon Allen.
Bucky and Braylon Allen. I would agree with that. Okay. Yep, that's fair. I agree with that. All right. Jaden Daniels or Jalen Hurts. This one's pretty easy for me. But you also see my hat, and I'm an Eagles fan. So
Hurts just hasn't been putting up yards because Saquon Barkley.
No, I mean he hasn't needed to, but the touchdowns are still there. The rushing yards are there.
No, I agree. My worry is just Saquon's gonna just run over another fucking defense this week because it's Baltimore. So
Baltimore's run defense has been good though.
Has it?
I mean, it's been better than their pass defenses.
Has it? Has it? When you think about it, has it? So I'm going to go Jaden Daniels because I think that's more of a back and forth game. Not to say this game isn't going to be, but at this point, the offensive scheme should be turn around and hand it to 26. There should be no... That is plays 1 through 100 in the playbook, and then if they stop that, go to play 101, which is tush push. That's essentially what the offensive playbook should be right now. And
yet, Jalen Hurts is QB2 on the season.
I'm fully aware of what Jalen Hurts is. 177 his opportunities are limited due to Saquon Barkley. Jaden Daniels' opportunities are not limited due to Brian Robinson Jr.
No, it's his offensive coordinator and his rib injury that's limiting his opportunities.
Yeah, but he was fine last week.
Well, he had to come from behind.
Yeah,
that game was rough. I don't know. You're shitting on Tua for garbage time. That's all Jaden Daniels' game was last week was garbage time.
And that's what I say. It's all. Listen, all that matters is what it has at the end of the game. I'll go Daniels. I just don't. I think Hurts' upside is capped because Saquon Barkley is going to run for 300 yards this week and break the single game rushing record. So, thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
That won't be this week. That's going to be in a couple of weeks.
No, it'll be this week.
He gets the Panthers in 2 weeks, bro.
It'll be this week.
No, he's not doing it against Baltimore.
It'll be this week.
So I have such mixed feelings about this Eagles-Ravens game because to me it's either going to be like 13-10, like defensive slugfest, where everybody they can't do anything, they can't move, or it's going to be like a 38-35 shootout because quarterbacks are just going to dominate and the running backs are going to start.
No, Philly's going to.
That's honestly what I think it's going to be.
Philly's going to destroy the Ravens. Baltimore has no chance in this game. Todd Monkey Brain is going to try and giga-brain this offensive game plan. He's going to be wrong about it.
I saw a really interesting stat. Basically in the last 3 years since 2022, Jalen Hurts has only lost once to the AFC, and Lamar Jackson's only lost once to the NFC.
Great.
I don't know. I just think it's interesting.
It's about to be 2.
Yeah. For one of them, yeah.
You tell me.
I'm biased. I'm an Eagles fan. So, yeah. I don't know. For me, it's Jalen Hurts. Obviously, for Joe, it's Jaden Daniels. Sorry that we weren't more helpful, Quincy.
Well, it's going to be
Joe, Daniels or Stroud this week? This is very easily Daniels because Stroud's been ass.
There you go.
Yeah, this has been terrible. And then from Will, he does chime in. This is a PPR league. Start 2. T. Higgins, Mike Evans, DK Metcalf, Juwan Jennings. Obviously, we've been very out on Jennings this week. So who are you sitting between Higgins, Evans, and Metcalf?
Probably Metcalf. Higgins is the lock start for me. He is
really.
He is
one good game coming back from injury, and you think he's a lock?
No,
that just tells me he's gonna get ruled out after 10 snaps.
He's had multiple good games this year when he's healthy. He's been money when he's in the lineup.
Yeah, because Joe Burrow's like that.
Because Joe Burrow would be the MV fucking P if he had a defense. If he had a defense, he'd be the MVP, guys. He's insane. Joe Burrow's out of his fucking mind right now. T. Higgins, I don't know. It's between. I feel like Evans and Metcalf are both can be boom or bust guys. I think Evans is more consistent. The only thing that scares me is Carolina. You do beat them on the ground. But they've been
giving up a lot on through the air too.
They have, and Carolina's been good. Like Bryce Young has looked good. Carolina's offense has been playing, so the games have to be competitive. So I'm gonna go Evans. I do like Metcalf this week. I will say I do like DK Metcalf this week, but I will go T. Higgins and Mike Evans.
I'm going Evans and Metcalf. Just I don't know.
There's
just something about Higgins' season that I just don't like. It's been inconsistent with injuries that continually pop up for no reason. I don't know. And Steelers have played really well on defense this year, so kind of where I'm at with that.
They have, but I'm not. Listen, I'm not too worried about from that standpoint. Every time T. Higgins has played this year, he's been absolute fucking. He's been lights out. 6 for 60, 9 for 83, 2 touchdowns, 7 for 77, 4 for 82 and a touchdown, 9 for 148 and a touchdown. His one bad week was his first game of the year was 3 for 39 against Washington. It was just one bad week.
Yeah, against Washington, which was the worst pass defense in the league the first month of the season.
And but that was game 2 or game 3 for the Bengals when it was literal fucking ass. They were horrible. And that was, I believe, a Jamar Chase explosion week as well. So that's what I'm saying. Like they have been, or T. Higgins has been very good when he's in the lineup. He's been more consistent than both of these guys when he's in the lineup.
That's fair. I don't know. And JSN's ascension is definitely capped Metcalf's upside. I will agree with that.
Yes. So I
think we can both agree Evans is the lock. Flip a coin on Higgins and Metcalf.
Jamar Chase 6 for 118 and 2 touchdowns this week, or that week. I mean,
but he does that every week. So
no, I know, but he had 45% of Joe Burrow's passing yards.
Yeah, that's true. All right,
and
Mark,
Zach
I feel like
Moss
we answered this a little earlier.
39.
I feel like we answered this a little earlier. Stafford or
Staffy.
Richardson? I'm going Stafford.
Staffy, that's fine. Right. Yeah, Stafford.
All right.
No.
This is an interesting one.
No.
Would you play Taysom at quarterback over Stafford and Purdy?
No.
I wouldn't start him over Stafford.
No.
You could definitely convince me over Purdy, though.
Oh, over Purdy? Yes, because Brock Purdy's going to be horrible this week. Stafford's in the question. No.
Yeah. Definitely not over Stafford.
BYU's gadget guy over Matt Stafford? No.
No. So this actually, I think, is an interesting question. Does playing Taysom at quarterback only account for quarterback points? So first off, if they catch passes, they run the football, you're going to get those points regardless of whether
anyway,
yeah. Whatever points they score on the field, whatever that is, you're going to get those points. Yeah, I mean, we see quarterbacks that will catch touchdowns on occasion or, trick plays and all that stuff. That still counts for their points.
Yeah, whatever the statistic is in the stat column, that's what they're going to get.
Yeah. Now, I will say some leagues, sites, they do things differently. So I think maybe it would depend on your platform. But traditionally speaking, whatever points they accrue on the field, that's what they get for your fantasy team.
Yeah.
All right. For Mobius, flex. Who you starting, Brian Robinson Jr. or George Pickens?
I mean, I don't love it, but Pickens. I don't like B-Rob against the Titans.
Yeah, I think I would go Pickens here too, which I'm not a huge fan of because the Browns really just gave you the blueprint on how to stop George Pickens. If you just get up in his face and fluster him, his head goes right out the window because he can't separate it all. But
Well,
I don't think the Bengals have enough talent in their secondary to do that.
their get in their face guy is Cam Taylor-Britt, and the issue is if you get in Cam Taylor-Britt's face, he has the exact same reaction. So,
So we've got a Cortland Finnegan and Andre Johnson scenario. I like this.
Hell yeah. Our first fist fight since the Titans-Texans heyday. I will, yeah, Pickens. I don't like B-Rob against the Titans.
All right, from Tron Force, excuse me. Traded Tyreek and DeAndre Hopkins for Chase Brown. Now ready for a playoff run. Did I pay too much? RBs are Barkley, Brown, Monty, Braylon Allen. Wide receivers, Cooper Kupp, Terry McLaurin, JSN, Mooney, and Waddle.
I mean, on the surface, that's an overpay.
Agreed.
On the surface, that's an overpay. Are you ever playing like you're fine. You can play Kupp, McLaurin, JSN, Mooney with confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I probably would have tried to trade both Miami receivers or D-Hop and Waddle for Chase Brown.
I was going to say D-Hop, Waddle for Chase Brown, or probably Tyreek straight up for Chase Brown could have done it.
Yeah,
potentially. I mean, I don't know the league. Everybody differs, so
it feels like an overpay. I understand why after David Montgomery, your running backs that's thin, but like at this point, barring an injury, Saquon Barkley's scoring points for your RB1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
So you're fine at receiver. I don't think it was an overpay. I think you might have given a potential playoff contender some firepower.
Yeah, that's what I look at it. They got a free DeAndre Hopkins here, which, leading up to Friday night, like D-Hop really hadn't been doing much, and he didn't. I think he had only caught 50% of his passes, give or take, but he got a lot of yards, which we haven't really seen over the last few weeks.
Yeah,
it's taken him a little bit of time to get into this offense, but this offense has taken a lot of time to get going. They really have not looked good on offense this year, and they settled for a lot of field goals against the bad Raiders team. So, all right, this week, kind of continuing that question, you going JSN or Terry McLaurin?
JSN. Excuse me, Jason.
Yeah, I think I would go JSN as well. There's a lot more consistency there. Terry McLaurin's kind of been boom or bust, and he's like 4th in the team in target share over the last month or so, behind Zach Ertz and Noah Brown.
JSN is set it and forget it right now with how
I agree.
With how him and Geno have been on the same page. He had 14 catches 2 weeks ago. He had 9 catches last week. Both were over 100, and he found the end zone. He's set it and forget it at this point. He's the number 1 option for Geno Smith.
I agree. And I want to end on this. We got one more question. Never mind.
Yeah.
What's cracking, fellas? Having a hard time choosing tight end this week. We go on Evan Ingram or David Njoku. Both tough matchups for tight ends, but it's tough to go against that Denver defense.
MT. We've seen it the last 2 years. This is the week Evan Ingram
gets hot.
This is the week Evan Ingram flips the fucking switch. This is the 11 for 110 and a touchdown. Evan Ingram. I'm not going to lie to you. Most tight end questions, if you come to me with Evan Ingram, I'm probably going to tell you to start Evan Ingram the rest of the season. Unless he proves me otherwise. This is Evan Ingram time. He loves him some fantasy playoffs.
Yeah, I like both, truthfully. I think Evan Ingram's a fine play this week. They really only have 2 options in that passing game right now. It's Brian Thomas Jr. and Evan Ingram. All the wide receivers right now for Cleveland are getting involved. So I think that while I love Njoku, I think it caps the ceiling.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know the Jaguars are going to have to throw the football. I'm fine going Ingram here because I think there's more upside. And real quick, Magic, no, Vidal is not serviceable in a 10-man league. You can drop him. He's really not seeing any.
Yeah, I feel like there's better options. In a 12-man, fine. 10-man, I feel like there's better options.
All right, from Woods Girl, and I love the nickname here, Westbrook Akine Bikini. I love it. You going Adam Thielen, Amari Cooper, Devon Vele, or Westbrook Akine?
Westbrook Akine.
Yeah, it's Westbrook Akine.
Westbrook Akine.
I agree. I'll end on this simply because it happens all the time. Always get nervous when I see others ask Taysom Hill questions. Look, we preach this all the time.
You should.
Taysom Hill is the most boomer bust player in fantasy football. Straight up. People still ask questions. I get it. It's what they're going to do.
Listen, I'm going to make fun of you, but we'll answer it.
It's what we do.
Remember Mike Tolbert on the Carolina Panthers? Taysom Hill's Mike Tolbert.
Yeah. He's the vulture.
The vulture.
Yeah.
Ghoul asked one.
Yep. What do we do about Debo? Half PPR. Several waiver wire options are starting to look better than him. Westbrook, Akine, Gainwell, Vele. Can we drop Debo at this point? He's been riding my bench for weeks.
I don't know if I'm dropping him for any of those guys.
I think if you need a win, go get Westbrook, Akine. I think there's more upside there. That's kind of where I'm at on Debo. Right now, he doesn't offer any upside. He's not getting involved. I've said this for years now. Debo is a playmaker. He's not a good wide receiver.
Yeah.
Right now, they lost their best wide receiver in Brandon Ayuk. Juwan Jennings has had to play that wide receiver role, which takes the defensive attention away.
Is Ayuk good? Is he?
Yeah, he regressed a little bit this year, but I think the holdout really kind of fucked with him. But he was the baller last year, even by every metric.
Sure.
But that's the thing. When you've got a quality wide receiver, Debo's able to do what Debo does, right? And defenses have figured out the Shanahan system. That's why all of the offenses that are from that tree right now are struggling.
Mm-hmm.
If a gadget player can't get gadget plays going, what is he? He's Taysom Hill.
He's a gadget.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So, like I said.
I'm not dropping Debo, but go get Westbrook Akine for somebody. I'm not dropping Debo, though. Yeah.
All right. Lucius chimes in really quick. Last day of the trade deadline, would you prefer Waddle or Rashad White full PPR for the playoffs?
Okay. I mean, my immediate is Rashad White, but do the Dolphins play the Patriots in the fantasy playoffs? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. And
I think the Dolphins have mostly home games, not cold weather in the playoffs.
The Dolphins have they've already won. They've already played the Patriots twice. So they play San Francisco, Cleveland.
You can throw on both those teams.
Yeah, but in Cleveland.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure they had another cold weather game. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, Rashad White. Thank you.
Oof. I still don't love it, but
I don't love it either, but Jalen Waddle's useless for 1 week.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
May even be useless against San Fran.
Do you trust Khalil Shakir in the snow or avoid him this week in half PPR league?
I mean, if you have a better option, sure, but I'm okay. I'm okay with it. If you have a better option, go somewhere else. I'm okay with Shakir.
Yeah, I'm okay with Shakir too. I don't love him in half PPR just because he's not always a big yards guy. It's typically, about 10 yards a catch kind of thing.
Yeah, those 10
there's
points
not
turn
enough.
into 7.5.
There's not enough pops there, but
those 10 points
100%. It depends on the options. And super chat from Himothy. Keeper league PPR. Would you all rather keep Neighbors next year for a 5th round pick or Bucky Irving for a 10th round pick? Joseph.
Bucky. Better value.
My inclination is Bucky.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you don't have to make this decision now. So you can let the season play out and you can let the offseason play out.
Yeah, if you can let the offseason play out and see who the quarterback is going to be in New York, that changes my decision.
100%. Because the Giants are going to have they've got a big offseason upcoming. How many moves are they going to make to improve the offensive line? Who's going to be their quarterback? Who's going to be their GM? Who's going to be their head coach? There's a lot of question marks there. We know on the surface level, talent-wise, this is Neighbors and it's not close, in my opinion. Right?
By far. Yeah.
Bucky is still going to have to deal with Rashad White there. Still going to have to deal with Sean Tucker there. So there's a lot of things that are working against Bucky. But I think in a vacuum, if you did a 2025 fantasy football draft right now, Neighbors is going to go probably in the 3rd round. So he's good value. Bucky's probably going to go anywhere between the 4th and the 6th round.
Yeah.
Also good value, right? Do you favor wide receivers over running backs? That's another question, right? There's still a lot to figure out here.
Yeah.
So
as of right now, the Giants have a top 3 pick. The Raiders have 2 wins. The Jaguars have 2 wins. The Giants have 2 wins. I don't know what the tiebreakers are, what they look like head to head. All
Giants right now have the number 1 overall pick.
Okay, the Giants have the number 1 overall pick. Okay, so they, in all reality, they're gonna get to pick and choose what they do. Mm-hmm. I couldn't even begin to tell you who the fucking number 1 quarterback is right now.
You're going to have a lot of different options. I mean, people are floating Cam Ward. People are floating Shedeur Sanders. Maybe Quinn Ewers comes out. Sounds like Carson Beck is going to come out, but,
he should. I mean, look, he's fucking
He
horrible.
Shouldn't, truthfully. Just my personal opinion.
God, he's horrible. He hasn't looked... Yeah. Lad McConkey and Brock Bowers made Carson Beck look good. So...
You put him on Wolf.
I mean, if I had to take the guess, New York is... If they have their chance, they're going to take Cam Ward. On the surface right now, I think Cam Ward is probably the number 1 overall pick. Because I don't
Cam Ward to Malik Neighbors is going to feed families next year.
Yeah, if Cam Ward is... Look, even if Shedor's the quarterback...
None of it's going to matter unless they get an offensive line, though.
Oh, I agree. If Shedeur or Cam Ward's the quarterback, I'm fine with Neighbors. If it's Quinn Ewers or Carson Beck, no.
Yeah.
No. Quinn Ewers is going to be a bust. So, yeah, right now it's Bucky Irving.
Both are great values, and I think that's what we can hang the hat on. And I'm guessing you're probably asking this question due to trades, right?
Sure.
Whether, somebody being involved in a trade for a contender, what you might get back and things of that nature. So, yeah, both are good options. You're going to get value on return with either of them, truthfully, to me, which truthfully, I don't think we can answer this question for you. What do you favor more in a fantasy lineup, wide receivers or running backs? Obviously, running backs have been it this year. That very well could flip next year.
I favor running backs.
Yeah.
So I'll go Bucky there.
All right. Another one from Galactic Ghoul. You going Kate Otten or David Njoku this week?
Otan.
I would go Njoku, personally.
Noah Gray scored 2 touchdowns against him. So can Otan.
This is true. All right, and then I'll end with this, a couple of them, because shout out to Woods Girl, absolute best fantasy show. Love it.
Oh, thanks,
appreciate y'all. This is why we do this. This is why we get up on a Saturday morning. And of
get
course
up.
from Joe as well.
It's fucking 12:18. What do you mean get up? She watches us at 8 a.m. That's getting up.
Yeah, right? That's early, yeah. Look, I work nights. Sometimes these 10 a.m., 11 a.m. shows are very early for me.
Nights,
so.
man.
Shut up, Joe. Shut up. All right, friendly reminder. Hit that like, hit the subscribe. We're continuing to grow this channel. We crossed 1,350 subscribers this week. So shout out to each and every one of you for the continued love and support. Also, be sure to check out our sister site, Women of Fantasy Football's partnership with Trophy Smack. That's trophysmack.com/WOFF, WOFF. Get all of your achievement-based needs, championship rings, trophies, belts, wall smack to decorate your office, kids' room, hallways, etc. All this goes towards helping us continue to support the growth of women in sports. He is Joe Zollo at Joe_Zollo. I am Josh Hudson at the One Hudsonian. You, of course, can follow Club Fantasy across the socials at Club Fantasy FFL. The URL, clubfantasyffl.com. Any last words, Joe?
Good luck. Don't suck.
Very good. Couldn't have said it better myself. Peace out, y'all. We'll see you next week.